Hello and welcome back to UB. This is our first episode of 2026. How's it going? We're on episode 21 overall.
We
Back
can
with
drink.
us. Yeah. Now we can drink. We're old enough to drink, guys.
Hold on.
We got
Oh,
Mickey, Ian,
that
Tyler, and
reminds me.
CJ.
Hill's going
We
down.
Yeah.
crack the. I'm
Crack
kidding.
open
It's the
that
Coke.
cold Coke. I mean, I have Pepsi, so it's like I don't know who we're sponsored by, either Coke or Pepsi, but
It's a bidding war.
yeah, it's a bidding war now. So guys, we had some big events happen over the weekend. Of course, we had more PQs, and we also had the very first sector of what's that we in set
Mhm.
6, and that was in Tillburg in the Netherlands. So we'll talk about the data from that event. You guys watch any of the stream? Catch any of the action?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, lots to dig through there. We'll talk about it. We'll also talk about our predictions for the upcoming Arizona sector. That is in by the time this airs, it'll be in like 3 days. So that'll
Yeah.
be pretty exciting. I think we're all gonna be there. So you
hmm
know, look for us, say hi. We're always pretty friendly, except for CJ. He is not very approachable at all.
The most approachable member per user poll.
Yeah, true.
User poll.
User poll.
Where was that posted on the
Yeah.
That was
KDB server?
the first Gen Con. Legitimately, like that is so funny. There's some comments about
Yeah.
it.
And then we'll talk about the spoilers so far this week and overall for uh, set 7. It's been pretty spicy so far, I think. And then at the end of the episode, if you haven't already scrolled there, we will have our very own spoilers. We have 3 cards that tie into the leader that was previewed uh, about an hour ago by the time this airs. The Agent Callus leader. So
Spoiler: 1 is an animal with a gun.
that's true. Yes, the very first spoiler that we have is a race that
Ooh.
exists in Star Wars for about 5 total minutes of screen time and a handful
I
of
legit had
comic
no idea
books.
this was a thing.
Yeah, it was in one episode of Bad Batch.
Uh-huh.
I'm only 3
And
episodes into that, so I have not seen any.
and like an episode of Star Wars Visions, and then some comics. So,
And
but
it's going
anyway,
in my deck.
we will
for
get
sure.
to
You'll tell
that.
us the whole lore about it, right?
I know nothing about them other than that they exist in that medium. So, but anyway, so guys, as I was saying, this past weekend there was a sector. It was won by SIP. So congrats to SIP.
Yeah.
I believe with that win, that now puts him at first on the leaderboard, just
Yep.
about 50 points or so ahead of Bobby Sapphire, Mike
Mhm.
Jim. So I think
Because he's
Mike's
won a sector and then gotten second at a sector, or was he second at a regional?
Second at a
he's second at a
regional.
regional. Yeah, and
That
first
makes
at a
sense.
yeah, because
Yeah.
they had the regional. We haven't had a regional yet, so
Mhm.
it I've made this complaint before, but I'll make it again just in the public. I think that is hard for any U.S. player to finish first on the leaderboard, just because not just because, but like it matters that presumably Europe has one more regional than we do, which in
Yeah, but I
turn
guess
is really 2 more.
if you're in the race for player of the year, you could just say like F it, I'll go fly to the
Right.
last
You could,
regional.
yeah.
Because you'll know by then if you're like even remotely
True.
close, right?
Yeah, true. So Mike might make an attempt.
I mean,
to
it's
go,
annoying because
or
we're getting
whoever.
taxed for that, right? Like having to fly to the other
Yeah.
side.
And
They
I
don't really have
I
to do
don't
that.
have any solution. Like that's I really don't have a a horse in this. Like I have my 100 points. I haven't really been trying to climb the leaderboard. But for people who are, it is rough. But still, not taking anything away from anyone.
Is it just because we have the added benefit of having worlds
Worlds,
in the US?
yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's also not confirmed that the regional is in Europe for set 7.
We're all predicting, but
Yeah, but it
What
could
makes
be a
sense
regional in
that it
both.
is.
What does
continents.
think though about having worlds, and I know people complain. We have to travel so far for it. Like I travel the
Yeah, 'cause
same
we're on the
distance
East
I go
Coast,
there
yeah.
than I would go to Europe.
I'd honestly
Yeah.
rather go to like Paris than Vegas.
Exactly. It's like Vegas is
my
cool and all,
my
but,
flight
like,
time to like
don't give me
Spain
jet lag.
would be the same as
Yeah.
it is to like Vegas, which is
Right.
kind
Yeah.
of crazy, but it is what it is.
Remember the Europeans complaining like I am the same jet lagged as you.
Yeah.
No,
Right. Yeah.
different states.
So speaking of Europe, let's talk about this sector. So guys, of course, it was one by SIP. He was playing Han 2 ECL I think it's safe to say that this was the Han sector. Like if you look at the overall, of course, Han 2 is like blue, ECL, like so many different combinations, data vault. But there were 71 Han 2 decks, which was 15% of the meta share there. Uh, the next closest was Yoda at 13%. Then a ton of decks between like 9%, 6%, 5%, and so on. There were only five, I think, one, two, three, four. There were five total decks that were played at 5% or more. Han, Yoda, Piet, Han 1, and Anakin.
Mhm.
The deck that had the highest win rate, that of at least, say, 10 players, was actually Sabine. Had 12 total players at almost a 60% win rate. So there's one in the top 8, I think. There must have been a handful more in the top 16.
Yeah.
So
Looks like 3 made it to day 2. So that's
yeah,
a 25% conversion rate. That's pretty good.
yeah. So not bad there. See if CJ has anything to say about Sabine. Uh, and then after Sabine, as far as win rates go, I think Palpatine from set 1 was actually the second highest at about 58%. And then, of course, then you get into Han. So the fact that Han 2 had like the third highest win rate, um, and being the most played deck by far, that just says like it's way overtuned, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
everywhere right now, which we'll talk about that. So, what are your guys' thoughts on the sector? Were there any surprises? Do you think it went about how you expected? I thought there'd be a ton of Han too, but I mean, like even this was high for me. CJ, what do you think
Yeah.
about this?
Yeah, I mean, no surprise, Han 2 on my end, right? I've been playing it since the beginning of the season. I've been screaming it from the rooftops that it's the best deck, and I do believe that. Um, I will say a couple big things to me that stuck out. One, I know you guys over there use the metric system. I get it. 50 cards, right?
Oh,
Or
no.
60 cards. Okay. It's the ruining the math is wild to me. It makes no sense. I'm really sick of seeing 54 card decks. Second big thing for me, I wanted to talk a little bit about Sib and Benton's list that they took to winning the event and getting top cut. I think one thing I was really impressed with, and I know they've been playing that list since like Han 2 was spoiled probably. But their ability to innovate and come up with some really cool lines within the list was really cool to see. So like some little things that make a big difference, right? Luke Pilot is something that they added that a lot of people weren't playing. Extremely smart, right? It's basically just another General's Blade that goes in space, which helps your Yoda matchup and control matchups where you have to pivot to space late game. Excellent addition.
And it's
And
less blowoutable than Chewie.
exactly, the constant plays around the constable, right? So it's like Chewie, but less all in, which is really cool to see. And then the second piece was their mirror tech for
Yeah.
Grogu with the
The modded
ambush
cohort.
guy, modded
Modded
cohort,
cohort.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
really smart plays. I like kudos to those guys. I've been saying it. I know our team has recognized this. It's happened since basically set 1. Red green in this game has so many options, right? And you can really tailor the list. Like even now, you could take onto ECL, and there's probably 20 cards you could swap in and out, right?
Mhm.
For different things, right? Like you can bring in Sundaris, you can bring in the like more upgrade hate, you can bring in
There's
Sentinels.
Cobb Vanth builds.
There's Cobb
running around.
Vanth builds, there's Daring
Yeah.
Raid, like there's 4 Cause, there's Rebel packages, like crazy things you can do to really switch it up. So wanted to give those guys kudos because I think they saw a problem with the matchups. They made some great, excellent changes and additions to deck, and it really paid off for them.
Yeah, and just having the metagame knowledge to know that Han 2 ECL was going to be very often played. So having the mirror tech,
Yep.
super spicy.
Super spicy. And then like the only other thing I'd say is like people stop playing Piet. Please stop playing Piet. Like please.
It's not going to happen.
It's
but
the
I-
Look,
Boba,
dude.
it's the Boba of last set.
It's
Like,
not gonna happen.
Look, Chrono, I'm just saying, like, you got to watch what you say. The triangle gods might come after you. I can't protect you. I've tried to show you the way.
I spent too many weeks.
And I could lose to Piet. I'm not saying you can't. Like Piet has amazing draws. It could
Yep.
be. I won't even be salty though. because I'll know in my heart of hearts that person will lose the next 2 rounds in a row.
That makes it worse, though. That's the thing. That makes
it
it
doesn't.
worse.
Nope.
Doesn't
They
work.
win the battle, but they'll lose the war.
Exactly. They may
Every
win this
time.
battle, but they most certainly will lose. And I'll
Yeah,
walk
it
by.
was the
I'll
third
walk by and
highest
look at their
played
hand
deck
for a couple
in
rounds.
the sector. It was
This seems
43.
blasphemous to me. I don't know.
We spent
Look,
too many weeks trying to tell people to stop playing Boba, and that got us nowhere.
It did.
You know what? Maybe we should tell people to play Piet. Maybe out of spite they're playing it. Go ahead, play Piet. It's fine. Totally good.
Dude, the Doritos in the sky are gonna come after you. Like, I'm just saying.
Well, good thing there's only like 4 of them or whatever.
Exactly.
Play the Piet. They're gonna lose into Han 2 ECL. Maybe they'll beat the Yodas, and that's just all that's gonna happen.
Maybe they'll beat the Yoda.
Maybe. That's the worst part about it. Maybe.
All right,
The
Mickey,
Han
what
2
are your
ECL
thoughts
matchup
on,
isn't that bad.
No, it's not that bad.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mickey.
Yeah, this is about exactly what I expected in terms of like the breakdown, like order of the most played, second most played, including Sabe inexplicably, in my opinion, being towards the top. That's a deck that I think is just Han 4 Tarkentown in a dress, and like it kind of in theory makes sense if you expect a bunch of Data Vault. Like their inconsistent Data Vault deck, let's make it even more inconsistent, but like you could also be helping them be more consistent by like you have to take a card if you look at the top 2, and if it's 2 fodder units and you're digging them closer to their Bo-Katan or their Luke or whatever. But yeah, it's about exactly what I expected the meta game to look like. Han 2 is dominant, and I think there's a big inflection point in the meta we're at right now, and we kind of saw it this past weekend as well, and we're gonna probably see more of it going forward, where Green Hero, especially like the Yoda deck and Anakin to some extent, really pushed Tarkentown out of the meta of every flavor, and that allowed the Han 2 decks to rise up again. And I think I had mentioned this on the last podcast we had done as well. And like now that the Han 2's natural predator is Tarkentown, and not every Tarkentown deck is great against Han 2, but you just have that natural built-in immunity to like them cheating out their guys, and you can make them play awkwardly. And that predator is gone, so Han 2 obviously rises in response. And like Han 2 is a deck where if you're not running into a Tarkentown, you have game into everything, and even some of the Tarkentown decks you have game into. And so I expect with Han 2 on the rise, people are going to be looking for Tarkentown decks. And then, the next, we're kind of entering a cyclical meta of like, originally I thought it was going to be Anakin and then Yoda to beat Anakin and then Han 2 ECL to beat Yoda and then Anakin to beat Han 2 ECL, that kind of triangle. I think it's broadening a little bit to where it's, Green Hero, Han 2, and Tarkentown. And so do people go to then the Green Hero decks again? And I think Yoda's probably like the safest pick in the meta. Your bad matchups aren't that bad, and your like worst matchups probably a 45% or whatever, and you have these explosive plays with early flips and your melee hopes that can steal any matchup, even your worst ones. So that's a pretty safe pick. Or do you try and like break the meta again? I think we saw like Tarkentown decks trying to break back into the meta, maybe a blue-green villain deck of some kind. Maybe it's a big Kira or a Kylo or a Chancellor. That's kind of the next evolution, but we're starting to see like, I will give the meta credit. I was very down on it initially. It has shown a lot more movement than I anticipated, and I think we're going to see some more of it going into next weekend as well.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Before we go to Ian, I do want to point out that the top 8, there was 8 green decks, and the top 8.
Green is still overtuned. Yes. I will say
7
that.
green bases. There were 4, 3 Han ECL decks, 1 Sabine ECL. And then there's the 3 Data Vault decks, the 2 Kylo, or the 2 Yoda and 1 Kylo, and then 1 Palp, 1 Colossus. So that's just crazy. Ian, go ahead.
I'm just going to have to put my foot down here because I think that Mickey's trying to insinuate that he can play Quinlan again, and I refuse to let him do this to himself. So Mickey, please keep the Quinlan locked away where he belongs.
Don't worry, I'll play Padme.
You can play 1-drops in it though, Ian.
So yeah, I don't know. I think that if you look at like the top 32, there's like no real spicy deck. If anything, it'd be that Sabe like Tarkentown, which is like the newest of the decks there. Like the top 32 is pretty bland in terms of the meta. Like it's a lot of the same repeat decks. There's I think 11 Han2s in the top 32. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of gross. Um,
Yeah, I think CAD
yeah,
was like
it's
the only
broken
deck
up.
that was there that was like, oh, this is kind of something you don't see that much.
Yeah, and that
now.
was Raytan who flew in from America with
Yeah.
his like, this is the only deck I play. I'm just gonna be very good
Right.
with it. So
Yeah.
kudos to him. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting to see how Tillburg meta ended up. Like the Han2 conversion rate was absurd. I think it was 19 of 63 players in day 2.
19.
Like
Yeah.
I just expect that to be exactly what happens in Mesa. Like I don't think that the meta is going to move fast enough for people. I think people who are going to Mesa were locked in on their deck as of last week, and they're going to continue to just play that. So I think we're just going to see a lot of the same. I think Han2 is going to dominate. I think Yoda is going to be very consistent and strong. I think I don't know. It just seems like it's going to be the same for what we're going to end up with.
I agree. I mean, there's some room to be like somewhat spicy. Like maybe there'll be more palps in Arizona. Maybe there'll be more CADs.
I just don't think like those decks were. So I thought it made sense that like blue green villain somewhat was creeping up into the meta if they thought they could build like a really greedy version and like try to focus on trying to beat the Yoda decks.
Mhm.
But they like kind of cut themselves, like they almost like fell on their own sword because it just allowed those Han2 decks to just go completely under them. Like when all of the control decks are playing 2 Annihilators. Like if you guys saw the Kylo DV deck that was in top 8, like that deck was basically like stone cold hard control. It had like 5 turn 1 play units and has like Palps
not
return main.
not even.
Like
Yeah.
yeah,
and the wild part about that into Han too is like, oh, and some of my removals upgrade based when they play main deck upgrade hate, and then also
Right.
like
Yeah.
I have Power of the Dark Side, which
Well,
does absolutely nothing.
What's
I mean,
crazy is that that deck is actually surprisingly quite good into Han. Like I know you're thinking, man, that's crazy talk, but like he has main deck Snoke plus Palps return, which is actually just insane against Han.
Yeah.
if you can,
that is
get it.
true.
If you can get
Right.
there,
Correct,
gotta live
but
to
like
that.
you
Well, they're
usually
trying to ramp
can.
into it,
Yeah,
right?
right. You usually can. I mean, I've played that deck plenty against Han, and like
I haven't
it's,
played it a single.
you know.
It might be amazing into it. Just to me,
I'm
what I
not
was
saying it's
seeing from
amazing,
the
but like
yeah.
when you look at a hard control deck, you're thinking, man, I have no shot against these, faster decks like Han 2.
Yeah.
But like it's actually surprisingly pretty good because then they have to use their ECL to deal with your Snoke, and then you flip, and then
Then
they're
you're
like,
Kylus.
yeah, then they're
Can I
like,
ask you
oh
a
no,
question,
now what
John?
do I do? What's
John,
up?
how many cards did he play in that deck?
He played 62.
Interesting.
My
So-
my
so, and
list
he
is
played-
not.
he played-
No, you don't
62.
understand.
wait a
Chrono,
second.
The
So he plays-
Kylo filter.
Hold on, no. So he plays 2 Palps returns. So you're telling me he has 1 line to beat these Han decks, and he plays 2 copies of
That's
it.
not the only line, but that's probably the
And it's
best
a
They
line.
draw an
two-card
extra card
combo,
every turn.
and it's a
Come
2-card
on.
combo. And they play
Well,
14
he managed to
extra
do
cards.
it on stream in his round
Good-
10 or whatever
Okay,
feature
variance,
match.
variance
on,
gonna
so-
happen. Variance gonna happen.
But he went X101, made top 4, so kudos. I think he lost to what did he lose to? He lost to Sip, right? Yeah, he lost to Sip.
I wonder if he drew his combo.
Anyways, all I was trying to say is that like I expected the blue green villain to like have a higher presence than it was at the beginning of the format, and then the Han 2 ECL got to take advantage of that. So like maybe we see less of the control decks because of Han 2 being like pretty good into it. There's also like other random aggro decks that are like pretty good into control in general. So like maybe that's just something that will come down, but I think it'll just be replaced by like them playing Yoda instead or something. Like
Yeah.
I think you can take your like, oh, I'm a blue green villain player and just be like, I'll play blue green hero because it's clearly better. It's still like control-y ish. At least in a lot of those games, you're gonna be playing the control role. So I don't know. I expect it to be a lot of the same.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the fence for my deck for Arizona. Actually, I have Ray Data Vault and I have Kylo Data Vault, so I'm just going to bring both of them, and I'll make a choice there. This is hopefully my only or my last premiere event of pre rotation. I hope for Milwaukee, I'm just playing sealed, calling it a day. So we'll see. Tyler.
So we just talked about, everyone else got all their takes in earlier. But I think we glazed over the thing that's really wasn't really like apparent first when you look at all these deck lists and what ended up happening of this metagame. Besides the 62 cards, European special, there was another thing that European tournaments had that was very different from American tournaments, and they had a lot more random decks, a lot more a complete kind of like shift in metagame. I feel like this tournament is one of the first that I've seen, at least from a European event, at least for the bigger events, where like I would, if you posted this image to me and showed me like where the decks were, I would think this is from our Mesa event. I think this would be exactly what the metagame is going to be in Mesa. There was like no super anything spice. There's nothing anything special. I think that Mesa may have more actually other like spice decks. The other like the main deck that I found on there that I feel like we're going to see a lot more play is going to be Gar Saxon. I don't know about you guys, but I've seen a lot of Gar Saxon up here in the Northeast, and there was only like 6 of them. There were more people playing Maul in Tillburg than there were playing Gar Saxon ECL. So
Yeah.
I think that one deck is still definitely up there. I don't think it's like tier 1 to fight with the other 3, but I think it could definitely, take games off them. You'll see a couple probably make day 2, unlike, here in Tillburg. But it's very interesting how they've kind of like made their soup very obvious. Like everyone is kind of just, we're going to play Green White Heroism or we're going to play Piet and Boba, which is still funny how like there's so many Piet players, but still like Boba's like the 7th or I can't even read the numbers. Like it's still like 13 decks. It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. And Gar is a pretty big call out. If I had to pick decks to have like a bigger meta share here, I would pick like CAD, Gar, maybe Kylo now.
I think
just
Kylo,
because it
yeah.
did well.
Palp,
Yeah,
Palp 1.
Palp. Yeah, whereas something like Sabe will probably drop. I
I
doubt
think that every
I don't know.
time.
I don't think
that
so.
every time.
Sabe is like an American invention, dude. I feel
Yeah,
like
but like
it's,
I don't really think it'll go down that much.
something has to drop for the other percentages to rise. Like I don't know
Yeah.
where it'll come from. It might just come from the other random jank decks, and all just kind of funnel into like things that are less janky.
Mhm.
one of the things that I was
don't know.
surprised at was that there was like no unity of purpose decks, and I thought that there's like always a lot of it on Carabas and stuff, and it just seems like everybody was like, "I'll play an actual real deck at the event."
Yeah, I mean, as far as like day 2 goes, there was one Ray, one Gar, like one of each Obi-Wan.
There's a random Talzin.
Talzin, yeah. Like it's just
My boy Quinlan. Ooh.
yeah.
Okay.
Mickey.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what it looks like. But I think to Tyler's point, I think that the Arizona one will look quite a bit different from what we see here. Probably. Maybe not as many like
It's going to
I
be very
think the
similar.
I think the
I think you're
top
gonna see a
performing
couple
decks
decks.
will be the same. Like
Yeah.
there'll be random other jank or whatever, but like the top performing decks, the best conversion rating decks, I think will be the same.
Yeah, Han, Yoda, I guess Piet. Like
I will
those would
say
be-
randomly, I think we've kind of inversed from like year 1, where I think Sabine is going to overperform in Europe compared to the US, whereas early on in the game was often the opposite. Europeans were playing like the heavier control decks, and Americans
Isn't
were playing
that so
Sabine.
funny? I was thinking the same thing, Mickey. How come
Yeah.
when aggro was like also really good, but it was Sabine, no one like the only time they innovated was like, I guess we'll play the data
data
ball
ball.
version.
Yeah.
And then like now it's like Hantu ECL, we better just have it be the most popular deck. Everyone
Yeah.
on is crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's weird how like preferences and metas change from here in Europe, and it's always fun to see, but
Yeah.
it is weird. It's hard to predict because like you just it's all over the place. That
Just on a note on Sabine, and I would love to hear Chrono's interpretation of this, but like it was the idea of them playing Sabine, like I know there was only 12 of them, but like it doing well was that it had a good matchup into Yoda, because I think the guy who top 8'd his 3 losses,
Yeah.
including the one in the top 8, were to 3 Yoda decks.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the matchup in is very good. I do think the Chewbacca plan is pretty excellent into them. So
Yeah.
it's not like you don't have a good like it's probably pretty close to the Hantu ECL version, just you're missing a couple tricks, so it's a little bit more challenging. I will say though, one thing I was like, I watched some of those games on like Sabine had on stream, and like I think he beat a Yoda on stream, but the Yoda He probably shouldn't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And my thought process is if you want to go the Chewbacca route to beat them, I'd rather just be on Han 1 green because you get a little bit faster of a start.
yeah, I agree with. I will say Sabine is better at having that full health ship most of the time because you play the natural like 1/3,
Yeah.
like the A wings, so it's a little
Mhm.
bit easier to set up, and you're putting on so much pressure. You don't care if they kill it randomly later. Like after
Mhm.
it hits twice, you probably won, right? If you did 12
Yeah.
damage with one unit, you probably won that
Yeah.
game. So it's like it's a faster.
Yeah, and we kind of combined this second topic already with the first one, but we'll just keep
Mhm.
talking about it for just another few minutes here. I mean, do you guys think that we talked about what we thought about uh, uh, the meta share was going to look like? Mickey, I know you had some thoughts about the
Mhm.
overall uh,
Yeah.
meta share. What do you think?
I honestly think the biggest riser in the US is going to be Han 1 probably. I have like my thoughts of like what top 5 or top 10 are going to look like. So I think like locking it in, Han 2 ECL is probably going to be the most represented, followed by Yoda Data Vault. I don't think that's controversial. I think those are going to be 1 and 2 in some order. I think Han 2 ECL was already on the rise in America, and so seeing the Tillburg results, that's going to surge forward. I think Piet's going to be the third most played just because people like their Doritos. And then Hantu Blue is going to be the fourth most played. And then it would be like if you combine all the blue green villain into one, it would probably be around fifth. But like, given that 30% of those players are going to be on Kira, and 30 on Chancellor, and 30 on Emperor
And then
Palpatine, some
Kylo,
on
and then
Kylo, yeah.
all right, it's all
So the
split.
real fifth played deck is probably in my like this is where it starts to get hazy, and like 5 through 10 could be in any number of order and just a couple players different, but like Han 1 and Sabe and Anakin and Cad and Kira and Palp and Vader and like all these other random decks. It
The all
loosely in
the
maybe
all
that
like
order.
3 to 5% decks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I will tell you though, from a Hantu player and a Sabine player for a really long time, I think the Hantu mirror match is atrocious to play.
yep.
And so
Do you
like
think the Han 2 mirror match is worse than the Sabine mirror match? I
way
thought like
worse. Way
really.
worse.
Okay.
Sabine,
Initiative matters way more, I
right.
think.
In the Sabine mirror match, you had so many lines and cool things to think through. In the Hantu ECL, it legitimately is Grogu dash answer Grogu. Like that's your whole mindset, and it's
Yeah.
awful.
I've
Like,
played a little bit of Hantu Blue, and like when one player slams down a Grogu, it's like, all right, you got to opt into the Grogu minigame, and then you're playing that for a couple turns, and then yeah.
yeah, it's
it's not it's just like honestly, it's the same reason I didn't play Hantu at Worlds, right? Is because I just
Mhm.
got stuck in that mini game for so many reps. I was like, I don't want to do this. This is awful.
Yeah.
So it's very similar to that. Just
I do
thankfully no
similar
force throw.
experience. Yeah, no, I mean I had a similar experience. I know that Mickey kind of mentioned Anakin. Anakin
Mhm.
was almost non-existent in
Yeah.
Tilburg. Like I think there were 2 that made day 2, and I don't think any of them made top 16. Maybe one of them, but it's like that was kind of surprising. But I guess given the perceived matchup against Yoda being not good,
Mhm.
that they kind of
The
fell
Piet
off a
matchup
little
doesn't
bit.
seem great either. Like you can win it because it's Piet, but
Yeah, but I'm sure Tyler might have some more thoughts on that.
I
Ian,
had different takes. My or claim later on was I think there's going to be a lot less Anakin at Mesa. I
you
think
think?
that like the North American Anakin players are like this deck's dead, this deck's terrible. I'm sitting here and I have like the best win rates with a deck my entire swoop career playing Anakin. So it'd be silly for me to put it down. Like I've top cut it and done best with it out of the last 4 weeks in any other deck period I've played.
Mhm.
But everyone else I've talked to, everyone's like, this deck's dead. I keep losing. It's all over. I do basic things and I'm killing people, and I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. Who knows? I could be somehow playing it better, but I really don't think it's that case. I do think it's actually going to drop down way more than it was at Tilburg because it was like fifth or sixth, and I think it's going to go even lower.
I think it'll be like 8th, 7th or 8th
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, I don't know the total number. See, Anakin total number was
there was
26.
26,
Yeah, so it was
and there were
the
2 made day 2.
fifth most. Yeah, so 2 out of 26. That is not good conversion.
Yeah.
Ian, do you have any more thoughts on the Mesa?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you go to swoop base and you just like look at who has the best win rates across the board, and you're just trying to pick a deck based on that, I think one of the most appealing ones is Hantu Blue. Actually, I think Hantu Blue has one of the best matchups into Yoda and Hantu ECL. Now, the Hantu ECL matchup isn't like amazing or anything. It's like slightly above 50%, but I think that one is actually more skill intensive. I don't think it really is just a who has Grogu type of game. Mostly because the Hantu blue deck has a lot of like decent anti-aggro tools within it.
You can go Ogdo. So like you get other options.
You also have entrenched on your own Grogu, which is like a really messed up play. So like there's some cool stuff there. And I think just in general that deck, I think to be honest, the Swoo-Base stats don't show this, but I think the biggest predator for that deck would have been Anakin. And with Anakin going down in popularity, like just my internal testing of Hantu Blue, like a good Anakin player was crushing every single time in the Hantu Blue matchup, which is not what Swoo-Base says. Swoo-Base says that like Hantu Blue is slightly favored.
Did you try casting Bo-Katan?
I did not get there in most of the games, unfortunately. But yeah, so it was interesting to see Hantu Blue being slightly on the rise recently, but like I feel like that deck was everywhere last set, so you would think more people would be coming back to it. And maybe it's just like the meta hasn't caught up yet, but I mean, I think that deck can definitely beat Yoda. I'm not saying it's like an amazing matchup, but it can beat it. And then it's pretty much, I think it's just at least 50-50 into all the Green Hero decks. And you get to pat yourself on the back for not playing Green Hero, the Boogeyman, right? So like people like doing that. I don't know. To me, I could see that one being like the weird like number 2 above like for whatever reason like people just start going back to that, and I know there's like a large contingency in the US that really like that deck, like both the Force version and the Paul Heavers of the world who like to play Colossus with 9/9 drops.
Even like without like Colossus, like which version of that deck do we think we're going to see more? Just like the 30 health or 35 for Colossus, or the Force?
I think Force.
I think in Tillburg the 30 HP bases actually did better.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that deck is better just because of the aggro options, and going space 4 ones is pretty good.
Yeah, well, it got a lot of tools from this set that aren't Force units because this isn't a Force set. So like,
if you want calling out my deck, jeez.
If you want to maximize the Hantu like ability and play like Rexes early and play Karis Nemix and stuff, then you probably don't want to be on the Force version because you really want to be focusing on like the Chirrut synergies and all that stuff.
The problem, the Force version has a better control matchup, which is tricky because of Kiadi. It also has a better space matchup because you get to play Marin and a few of the other cool tools to help with some of that stuff.
And the itinerant really helps the race.
Yeah, and the actual healing with Anakin. Yeah, I still get to play Anakin. But you're right, it does have way better aggro options, like really crazy fast starts. It's definitely like it's like a Mike Tyson type deck, right? You punch your opponent in the face like over and over again with some cool control elements, like to finish the game off, which is fun. But I think the Colossus one's junk. So I don't
9/9 drops is egregious. Paul Heaver, come on. Love you, Paul.
I don't like the Colossus build either. I tried it a few games and I'm like, this deck, I don't.
Again, if we're saying that like one of your like the best part about Hantu, in my opinion, is you have especially the blue version, is you have some of the best starts in the entire game, right?
Yeah.
Legitimately, you have like 3 of the best physical starts, but they are matchup dependent. So the last thing I want to do is draw less cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start with one fewer
like,
card.
Oh, cool.
Right.
It's like, oh, I'm playing against like Cad. Oh, I only got Grogu. Okay, so I just lose. So that was fun. Like, oh, I'm playing against like Hantu ECL and I need grow. Oh, I don't get it. I get like Nemec. Cool, I lose. Like I don't know.
I mean, it's I know what you're saying and I totally agree with it.
But other people don't believe in variance in this game, as we can see with 54 card decks, 64
and 62 card data vault decks. Which hey, I mean, you do you, man. Like top 4, that's pretty sick. But
yeah, it is.
62 cards is kind of wild. Like we made it 60. Like Steve made it 60 like right away, and that's what we've been testing. So
I've been sitting at 61, and that's where I'll be staying. But
well, that's because
I will not change from there.
You're a madman, Tyler. You're doing so well. Now I got to take a point away.
What can I do?
Should have kept his mouth
shut. It's classic. I can't keep my mouth shut. You know, it's what I'm here for.
I would say playing 51 is better than playing 49. That is
playing 61 is better than playing Quinlan. So
whoa,
you should just join me. You know, I copied you for Galactus.
Quinlan can play Data Vault. You could play Quinlan Data Vault.
You could, yeah. I mean, that's.
I have actually looked at that for more time than I'd like to admit. Like,
I believe it. So that's our predictions and wrap up for the sector in Tillburg and in Mesa. Like I said, we're all going to be there. So look for us, hopefully at the top tables or day 2. So we'll see.
Or at the stream table.
Yeah,
Come
stream
chat us
table.
up.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We're all likable guys. We're all nice.
oh,
Approachable.
Yeah, very approachable. So going into the next topic is spoilers for A Lawless Time.
Ooh.
So I personally have really liked the spoilers this week.
Why are the cards good? What's happening?
Like-
why do the cards
Yeah.
actually look kind of cool?
I don't know if they're good. I actually have no idea if these preview cards are good, because it's really hard to look at them in a world where it's like there's like no removal anymore. And
Yeah.
We still have no idea what the removal suite is. I
Right.
think that's gonna be the biggest,
Yeah.
difference.
when you see something like
There's the ramp question too.
right, yeah,
Well,
when you see cards
That's a little
like
bit different though.
like Ray and Kylo, these giant like 8/8s and 9/9s, and like
Mhm.
Base and Churret are like 8/6 and 6/8s. It's like, man, these cards are sick, but they're like 6, 7, 8, 9 costs, like do nothings, right? Like
Yeah.
you play them, they don't really do anything, and you just wait until you get your next turn. And like they're cool, they're giant, they're cool, they're chunkers, but like, is that going to be good in the post rotation world? Cards like Ezra, like the one that we got, I think we got that one today, Tuesday. It's a 4/5 raid 1. When played, you heal. Whatever. That card seems insane.
Yeah, just
it's-
like even without
Who
the
knew
body
that in
text.
order to beat Typho, you were gonna have to play blue-green hero?
yeah, right. But like, and we'll talk about our cards too that kind of tie in to this. So Hera, at first glance, when Hera was spoiled on Monday, my first knee-jerk reaction is like, this card is unplayable. Like, it's terrible. Like, her stats aren't great. Her like ability isn't that impressive. But once we think about it in a smaller vacuum with like post rotation, hardly, we don't know what the removal is. Take our preview card plus something like the 1-drop Han Solo. Now you have Ezra. You have so many ways to make just sticky units.
Yeah.
That like maybe she's not that bad when you could cheat out, like, or not cheat, but like kind of break the rules of the game by playing like your blue-red cards and your like green-blue Hera, or kind of whatever.
Mhm.
Like I'm not gonna rule her out yet. Like I'm now like the Leia that we've seen, like the leader Leia, she's awful. Like I'm saying she's
Yeah.
awful. But Hera, like she's like not bottom tier yet for me. So we're gonna have to see. But my thoughts. I like the preview so far. I'm excited for him. Chopper's cool. Maul's cool. Like all these cards are cool. You guys have anything that kind of sticks out to you?
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I am. I think the cards are really cool. I do have one really big fear that they have yet to put to rest, and I'm really worried about it. These leader stats have been really bad.
they've been
And
three
that might
six.
change, or we might be absolutely fine. Or we're
Is
all
that
just
bad?
yes, because we're just going to be playing Towson next set. You're just going to play the
I don't
good
think
leader.
you're gonna play Towson because it has one more health on it. I honestly don't think so. I think it's an obvious point.
But
They're
it's not
all
just one
being
health,
3/6s.
But it's not just playing the one health. It's also leader ability. It's like you could play
Yeah.
Hera. She gets restore 1. Like these aren't comparable to the leaders we already have, right? It's like I'm not saying that they're not going to be good, but I'm getting worried that we're not seeing the appropriate like matching power creep of these leaders to the ones we already will have in the pool. And we're just
I have
gonna
a
be playing the
feeling
same
that we
boring
won't.
cards.
I have a feeling that a year from now, when
Yeah.
we go into the second rotation, where this set is still legal, right? Set 7 will still be legal, but 4, 5, and 6 will be out. That we will have a very different idea of this, because I think that this is just the standard going forward.
That was my thought as well. Like
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
I'm fine with that.
maybe,
But the
maybe
problem-
this is gonna be it.
But the problem I have is the leaders that are still going to be good, they are pigeonholed into the already existing cards. Do you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like if you play Obi Force or Towson Force or
Yeah.
Big Ship, you're gonna be playing the same cards. Do you know what I mean?
Especially the force decks, because
Right,
like the only
that's what I'm
force
worried about.
payoffs.
And I don't
Yeah.
know if that's gonna happen. We haven't seen everything, but personally, I'm worried about that because I
It
do
kind of
not want to play those
dovetails.
cards anymore.
It's kind of dovetails into like this is both like it's very similar worry, but also something that I like about their design to where Tata, you mentioned it, the Leia is not good. I agree with that, but the Hera is very interesting, and I think a lot of that is because both the Hera and the Callus leader that we just saw this morning are leaders that facilitate you to play out of aspect cards, which is what the set wants you to do because of all the multi-aspect stuff, as opposed to being payoffs. And I think I would want my leader to be the facilitator instead of the payoff, because like if the facilitator is in your deck, you're not going to find it every game, and your deck is just a 50 cards that are all out of aspect and you just can never play the game.
Right.
The problem with that is that if your leader is your facilitator, it's hard to give it those extra stats and those extra abilities to make it like powerful and feel impactful on the board, because it's already being so powerful in deck construction. And so like that's where CJ's worry comes in of these leaders are understated and they don't feel good necessarily to flip. Like the Hera is great when you're like being able to cheat things out. The Callus is great when you're like constructing your deck to do all these cool things, but the on the table gameplay of the leaders doesn't feel as good like when you flip them. Like
You should
it's
just they should just make them defensive then. Like make them 2/8s.
Perfect.
yeah.
Do something, right? Do
Yeah,
something
or
different.
something that makes them like a little more sticky and
Yes.
meaningful.
And they're
like,
doing that a little bit. I believe they both have restore, correct? So like there's a little bit of that in play.
That's my least favorite mechanic.
Leia doesn't have
Yeah.
One.
Hera does have restore.
Hera
I
Hera
has
think
and
Callus
one.
pretty much
Callus,
has
I don't-
restore. You
Like
just have
Callus
to play a
too,
Hero
like,
unit.
That's
So-
the
so-
worst
but-
mechanic.
like Hera is kind of like, I kind of look at her not really as like a combo deck, but she has the card. Of course, it was spoiled on the same day. Phantom, which again at first glance by itself the card's not that good, but when you think about it like as a combo piece, like your 4 resource turn could be like play Phantom, which gives you your second unit to trigger her effect, and then you play something like Chopper as like a 4/5 for 2. Like that's like kind of scary. So
Yeah.
That's just your normal 4-cost card.
Yeah, I think
right,
the
but you get
well,
2
no, it's
units
better
out of it.
though.
Yeah,
It's better than a
Yeah.
4-cost card. So I kind of feel the same way, Tada. I was saying internally to like my team when the card was spoiled that like I thought that card actually is really good, because a lot of times in aggro decks you want to on the 4 resource turn play
play
double
2/2s.
2-drops.
Yeah, right.
So like that card incentivizes you to do a thing you already want to do. It's
Mm-hmm.
basically a 2-cost 3/3, right? Because it's getting the XP.
Right.
It's not going on that ship. It's going on whatever you're playing.
Right.
But then that lets your second card that you're playing have a stat that it shouldn't have, which means that
Also, the action
gets
sheet is
to-
huge.
it gets to fight on the board in a way that like it normally wouldn't be able to, because you're transferring the stats to the other unit. So
Yeah.
like you get to have a unit that has like a really interesting breakpoint that normally wouldn't.
Yeah, and
And it's action compression, right? Like you're playing
exactly. Yeah,
2 cards from
that's the
hand
thing.
with 1 action.
Is
That's
that like
very-
it's not very like card efficient, I guess, but like you're getting like a lot of stats, and if you
Right,
can use
right.
it to trigger, like Hera and play something that you can't normally play, like a Chopper or like some other
Mhm.
red green card, or whatever. Like it could be a yellow hero card, like who knows what we'll get. There's just potential there. So
Yeah.
I don't want to just write it off as like, like Ophir on Monday when we were talking in team chat. Like it's like, okay, she's probably not good. Like we just kept hearing it's not good. But like when you think about it more, and
But
it's
I'm with you, but like also the first Hera wasn't good enough. All these
No,
new cards
no,
are
no, I
specters.
know.
Just reprint the first Hera. Jeez. Why not?
Well, I think it's nice that her restriction isn't just the specters, because that allows you for future sets, like how we've been saying, like, oh, well, they just like print this keyword in this leader or this trait on this leader that they care about, and then they don't print cards for that leader. She just cares about heroic aspects, right? So
Yeah.
like that allows you to continue to play out of aspect cards in the future from like newer sets and not have to worry about like, oh, well, it's not a specter, so I can't play that aspect.
It really is just going to come down to what else we see,
Mhm.
right.
because it's too early,
Like-
I think. But
Like for me, it just sounds cool. It sounds interesting to go like on my 4 resource turn, go like Phantom into Chopper, and then on my 5 resource turn, be like, okay, now here's Zeb,
Yeah.
and it's like that's sick, right? Now you
But
just have
is that magical Christmas land? Because you have to have
I have no
units
idea.
live on the
Yeah.
board.
Well,
I mean,
no,
it's-
but you
The thing
still.
is, like, what's killing units? Like,
Well, what
of
if
course,
you-
like Talisman will
Exactly.
be able
We
to.
don't know what's killing
That's what I'm
units.
yes.
Like
That's
Anakin's
it.
gone. Anakin's gone. Like Anakin would be the biggest thing that would be dealing with a 2-force, and
Hold on.
he will be gone.
You also, I think what you do with her, honestly, is that you play the Daimyo's Palace type base where you get one card
yeah,
out of
we can cheat
aspect,
it regardless. Yeah.
and you cheat it regardless early, so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you can guarantee later on that you have like the other stuff, and you're not as clunky.
Yeah, but like you say, we're losing Anakin, and not to go on like other thing, but we're still gonna have Obi Mystic Monastery. You're still gonna be making 4/4s on turn 1. Like there's
Yeah.
still gonna be plenty of like things that are tier 2 right now, but are more powerful than what we're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean
Here.
I totally
That's
agree.
what I'm worried
You know,
about.
it's just I understand. You know, I see it from both sides, and we've only seen 35
That's
cards,
too early.
so you know
Oh, yeah.
we can't really tell for sure. But just
Especially in
yeah.
the set that's leading into rotation, you're going to need a lot more cards to see the context of the
Could be
landscape.
reprints,
correct.
could be a lot of stuff that we have
Yeah,
not
I
seen.
mean,
Yeah,
we still
the
have like
spoiler
200 cards.
article kind of hinted at some interesting things. Like, I know people are worried about like, oh, what kind of removal are we gonna have post rotation? And like, the spoiler article I think said that there's gonna be like 2 different board wipes.
2 board wipes, 2 permanent ramp cards.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously they're not gonna be super laser blast. They're gonna be different, and that's fine. Like maybe they're better. Who knows? Like, we don't at this
Just
point.
straight Wrath of God. Just kidding.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Tyler, do you have any thoughts on spoilers so far before we get into ours?
No, I like the cards. I like how they're expensive, and then the other side, because I cut off Ian earlier. Like we don't know what the ramp's gonna be like, but I do think that we're going like the credits that they're gonna be doing. I think it's gonna be good. I think there's going to be good things that do credits, and I feel like they may push it a little bit. I may, have some extra info, but that'll come later. But
But
Yeah.
but
like-
Tyler, why does the Sarlacc pit suck? Why can't I have fun? Right? Like,
I don't
why
know,
do all the
man.
cool things I want to do stink?
Like,
why is
that
one
has
so-
I
been-
was actually looking
why
at
is
the
Sarlacc-
Is it a
Sarlacc,
starter card?
like yeah, I was looking at it
Yeah.
earlier, and I was like, man,
It's a
it-
starter deck.
if that
but
card
It
said
doesn't have to be. They
when
put it in the
played
starter.
and on attack, I would love it.
Sure.
It'd
Yeah.
be like, man, this card's cooking, but it's just on attack, so I'm like, maybe I don't really like it anymore. But I
Makes
mean,
me sad.
Mm-hmm.
they tried, right? So let's go into ours. So let's start with the card that was just previewed this morning because our spoilers kind of go with it, or at least the last one does, and that is Agent Callus. Have them on the screen here. I'll have the high res images posted in the Discord somewhere. But Agent Callus is another kind of cheat aspect kind of leader. So when we first saw this, when we got center cards, I was like, I'm not so sure about this guy. Like, you have to pay 1, which means it's like you're only getting a 1 discount. But as we thought about it more and talked about it, we're like, well, wait a second. You ignore all of the aspect penalties.
Yeah,
so
that's a
You can
huge
play
one.
any card. It's not
Correct.
just
Oh,
unit
yeah.
like Hera was. It is everything.
Cunning cost 5.
So you could play
Like,
like a hero yellow
great.
card for 1 extra, which is like kind of insane, right? So, he's a 3/6, just like Hera. So maybe this is like the new norm for 5 cost leaders. We don't know yet. He can heal, which is interesting. What do you guys think about Callus?
So when I see a new leader, I go through a little like mental thing in my head, right? And I have to like throw away some of that stuff because some of the cards that you would think about with cards like are gone, right? So it has to change a little bit. But the first thing I want to look at is, okay, it has an action. Does that action cost a resource, right? Historically, that's been no bueno. We don't like it when it costs a resource, right? This one does, okay? But then we read it, and you get to play a card and ignores all, right? Which is good. That's great. So 1 for 2 potentially, right? Maybe 1 for 4, right? I think that's the highest you could get. Would be the highest. aspect
Maybe with the triple
Another 3
aspect cards,
aspects.
1 for
one,
6.
okay, 1 for 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so like now we're cooking. All right, that's
Yeah.
really cool. That's great. Then we look at the actual flip. It's 5 cost. Okay, that's great. 5 is good. 6 is typically bad, 5 is great. Okay.
Mhm.
And then you look at the stats, 3-6. Well, that's not good, right? We don't have Barrage and other cool things anymore, so we don't have to worry about that. But the math doesn't math very good at a 3-6 for where we stand historically. Then we look at the typo though, Imperial Trooper. Those are two historically great types, right? Well supported. We don't know what it's going to look like in the future though. I like him.
Yeah.
You put all the like with the Tata's point, put all
Yeah.
that together. It's a cool package, especially in limited, because it's basically like if there's a cool
Yes.
double aspect yellow card, which historically there has been some cool ones, you just can play it, right?
Yeah.
And so like you have a lot
I'm
of
very
flexibility.
happy
play a
that
lot
this
of
is a
stuff.
rare for limited.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
you need,
it-
like
it's
you
rare.
if you open your seal pool, you're jumping. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah, dude.
we're playing every
100%.
card. We're doing
Yeah.
it.
Does anyone
Yeah.
else have any thoughts on Callus for just moving to?
So I think the heal 2 for playing a heroic unit is super interesting.
Mhm.
You can do some really interesting stuff with that. Like a card like what is the card from this set that's like a common, the resistance one? It's like deal 3 damage, heal 3.
Yeah, grassroots.
Oh,
yeah.
grassroots.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All of a sudden that becomes a 5-cost vigilance basically, right? Like
Yeah.
it's deal 3, which is basically kill a unit with 3 health left,
Mhm.
and heal 5. Which
True.
is historically a lot of health that you can gain at once.
Mhm.
Which is kind of cool. Like I think the heal 2 here is actually huge because it's basically like he has restore 2 and you don't even have to attack, which means like if they have a sentinel out or something, like you can just play a unit or play an event that's hero and get the heal without even having to attack, which is pretty nice.
Great point. Don't have to worry about condemn and like some of the
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
point.
Don't have to worry about condemn. So like the heal 2 by playing the thing that you're probably already built your deck around, right? Playing these out of aspect things, you're already there. And I also think that this is one where if we get cool cards that make the credit tokens, that his power level can really get unlocked, especially because I have a feeling that a lot of the credit token generation is going to be in yellow. Like we saw the one spoiler where it's just a 1-cost event, make a credit
Yeah,
token.
make credit. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like if you
So-
set up the turn before, you could play some crazy card like way above a curve in
Yeah.
a deck that has none of those aspects.
Yeah.
And
Right.
this is
Exactly.
complete speculation here, but I'm starting to feel like they're gonna do it too. If we do get like in Magic the command cycle, right, where it's like
Mhm.
Mhm.
insert play whatever
Kolaghan's
mixed color,
command and stuff,
yeah,
yeah.
like if you get that
Mhm.
type of cycle, this
I
card
really think
really
we're getting
starts
that.
cooking,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
then
cool.
we're like, oh man, I can play all these.
At this point, I suspect to get the full cycle of 6 3-cost. I think there'll be like 3-cost
Yeah.
events, double pipped.
He's gonna love that.
I almost feel like he's like, do you remember in set 1 with like the Iden blue deck where it was just like this control deck, it played vigilance in aspect and it just was like really annoying, it healed a bunch and like the leader didn't really do much outside of healing and like it was fine, and now this guy can potentially do that plus
Mhm.
also like have a bigger card suite than that Iden like
That
vigilance
shield was
deck
annoying.
did.
in
Yeah.
set
I
one.
That is true.
One-
The shield was annoying.
One thing I do want to point out about this leader is I think, at least for me, my initial instinct was like, oh, this is like almost Piat-esque of like cheating 1 resources versus cheating 2 resources, playing these things ahead of curve.
Yeah.
Notably, you're not playing them ahead of curve. Like they're still on rate. They're still just 5 drops. They're just out of aspect. And
Right.
so that is going to require a little bit more of intricate deck building and making sure that like, all right, I'm in these specific color combinations because I need these specific cards on curve.
Yeah.
And then I'm also utilizing these out of aspect cards that synergize really well. So it really warps your deck building, I think, in a really cool and interesting way.
Well,
But
and it's not like Anakin, where like you need the force, right? Like this is just, hey, you need a resource, play whatever you want.
you always have this available. Like
Yeah.
you can always do this, whether it's in your leader zone or flipped on the board.
Yeah.
Once per turn, you always get to do this minimum.
This is
So-
what I wish Anakin was. Is like
Yeah.
this. Like
Yeah.
this is pretty cool. So speaking of cycles, they mentioned in their article that we were going to be getting a 2-cost cycle, 1 for every color combo that had 2 keywords, and I believe that this is the first one that we're seeing, and it is the Leppy Lookout. This is the race that I mentioned is like in 5 minutes of total Star Wars, like anywhere.
The Leppy.
Yeah, the bunny race. So there's like a bounty hunter or smuggler named Jax or Jackson, which is like kind of a meme.
His Jackrabbit.
Yeah,
Is that-
and like I thought that was it, but apparently they're bringing him into SWU. So we have a 2-cost blue green 3/1 shielded Overwhelm. So the Overwhelm probably isn't that relevant. I mean, it could be.
It'll probably do like a damage.
Right, but shielded is like obviously an incredible keyword on a 2-drop. It ties into the Hera strategy that I was talking about earlier, where you just have all these sticky units. I think this card's busted.
Yeah.
I don't know if all of the 2-drop double keyword guys are going to be busted, but like this one is.
I mean,
like,
this card looks really good with Phantom, right?
Yeah.
To turn this
you
into a
can't
4/2 shielded overall.
because it's not hero.
Oh, Phantom is specifically hero.
Yes,
Okay.
it has to be hero. But like, still, like this is insane.
Real quick, to everyone that jumped ahead, go back and watch the rest of the episode, please.
Yes, please watch at least some of it. But I mean, what do you guys think about this? I mean, Ian, I know you had some more thoughts on it too. Like, I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's pigeonholed into a 2-color aspect, and it's like a first turn play, so it's not like someone's playing this out of aspect. I don't really think you would want to play it out of aspect. It is just purely a, hey, if you are playing these 2 colors, you get rewarded by a very good on rate card. Which I think is what you want out of your dual color cards, right? Like you want them to be pushed. You want a reason to be a blue-green player. And if blue-green players are, I'm going to start Han Solo 1/1 shielded that on attack I get an XP, into Leppy Lookout 2 cost 3/2 shielded or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you just, like imagine the Leia leader from set 5 that you like reveal a card from your hands, and if it doesn't share an aspect, you put an XP on it. So like you start with the Han Solo 1/1 guy that likes to attack
right?
and make stuff.
Set 6, yeah.
Oh, set 6. Sorry, yeah.
Mhm.
And then you activate show like just some random out of aspect cards. So you just always have it, right? Like a
show like a
waylay
hero
type
card,
effect.
like just hero.
Yeah, or just a hero
whatever.
card. Yeah, make the Han Solo into a 2/2 that's going to attack and become a 3/3. Then the following turn, you're playing the Leppy Lookout, make it
like
into a 4/2.
Yeah.
And you just have these like shielded army of guys. Like to me, it's almost like they want the blue-green at like obviously without the hero and villain stuff to be like almost like a Boggles type deck, which is from Magic, but it was like you play a couple guys and they just are really really hard to deal with, and you just put upgrades on them, make them really hard to, like putting an upgrade on this thing is super annoying, right? Like it has a built-in shield, and
like any shielded guy. Yeah,
it makes the overwhelm relevant. So yeah, super good card.
Yeah, Tyler, what do you think?
I think in the Leia deck seems great. It seems cool. I think just in normal value, card seems great. 3/1 shielded. Everything we've all said, everything makes sense. I think in CJ's Mind Palace, I think in the world that we're just tormented by Talzin, like you play this 3/1 on start, they play their 2/4 fucking force unit. You have to swing into their thing, break the shield. They swing into your base, free kill it, and then you're like, man, what the fuck am I doing? There could be both sides to this coin. Like these cards, it could be very good, it could be very bad. I think in Leia though, that completely circumvents the -1/-1 aspect of it. In both ways for both Han Solo and this.
Yeah, that's true. Talzin does kind of check it. CJ, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm really sad that Tyler just said that. It makes my heart really, oh man. Like I'm so excited when I saw this card. Like blue green, I don't get to play it a lot, but I love that color combination. Right? Like I think that color combination is great. Historically for us, for whatever reason, the designers put that at this very like grindy color with a lot of restore and ramp, and like that's not my style. This is much more in line with like Simic and Magic, where it's like our creature has some kind of evasion and a good stat line.
Nice.
Like that's what I want in these colors, right?
Speaking of cool keywords, think if this had shielded and like restore 1. How cool would that be? Like, it's like, please.
Raid 1 or something.
I'm happy it doesn't have restore. I think Overwhelm's way cooler.
Yeah, Overwhelm's cooler because then it makes you like really tempted to try to make it.
I mean, Overwhelm's like the green keyword, right? So I mean that makes sense. Like blue is shielded, green's Overwhelmed. So like that's
right. I'm happy that's the case, because if restore was a blue one, I'd be really mad.
Like
and that's my
like point. The red green one might be like raid 1 and restore 1 or something. I mean, just something like
stinks.
that. But all right, so that is the Leppy Lookout. We can jump into our.
Oh, John, you didn't tell everyone his backstory.
I already did, man.
not
People
this
who
one. in particular.
watched at the very beginning and didn't skip ahead got the whole backstory.
Did this race like make their own sniper rifles, or
Yeah, it was like
I don't know.
was this like
1547.
one of
was
those
the
races
timestamp.
where we gave them the sniper? What are we
That's
talking
fire
here?
spray, boys. That's fire spray. So this is the new, fire spray that we get every set.
Oh yeah.
So this is the
That's
set
so
7 version.
There's so many.
It's like every 3 sets, you know.
Yeah, actually,
Wait, is it our third or our fourth fire
This
spray?
is
I
the
can
4th
think
fire spray, right?
and it's the second one that's
Well,
one black, isn't it?
I think this is the 4th one that's named Fet's Fire Spray, and then there's a 5th one that is called like Ravenous Fire Spray or,
Or-
something
or
like
whatever.
It's
that.
in like a
That's
starter
not,
deck.
yeah,
But-
it's specifically not.
for some
the
reason I'm
Boba
blanking on
Jango
the
Fire
third.
Spray.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
blanking on the third Fet's fire spray. But
So there's
There's
set
the
one.
There's a
4-4.
mono red one.
There's the I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's only the third one called That's Fire Spray, but I mean, anyway, it is a 4/6 ambush, which is quite good. And when the attack ends, you get a credit token. So I think this card is very mid, but
Yeah.
where it can shine is if space is a place that people play in set 7. This-
Can I
this
go
card's
first
insane.
on this one, John? Because you're missing
Sure.
a very key point here.
Go right
This is a
ahead.
transport for our boy Rio. You got to look at
man.
all the things through that lens,
Alright,
right? Our
I
boy Rio
will
wants to ride in
sadly
this
Hop on
give you
in, baby.
points.
All right, so we're gonna let him hop on in. Okay.
Yeah.
I do think so. I agree. It's pretty mid. I think it's like overcosted by 1, which makes sense because it refunds you if you attack and defeat the
Right.
thing. And maybe like the interaction in space is so weak. But we have stuff already,
don't-
like the
I don't
new
know if
Force
this is
Like,
overcosted, guys.
and the Eye
I
of
don't
Sion.
think we've.
I don't
even
think it's over.
in space or ground. We've never had a 4/6 ambusher. We've at most had a
We've had
5/4,
3-4.
a 4/5.
Eye of
Isn't there like
Sion's
a
what,
corporate
like a
light cruiser or
4/7
something?
or something?
Yeah, there's a
Ye-
4-7 for 6.
But one thing we don't know, because 4/6 historically, especially in space, is an amazing stat line
Yeah.
because it plays around both takedown and mount. We don't know if it's case though. Like I don't. We don't
Yeah,
know.
those
we don't
removes
have those
is
cards
gone.
anymore.
Like,
Yeah.
does this matter? I
But
don't know.
like the whole power level of this card is like tied to getting the credit token, right?
Yeah,
So like
and I
if,
also
if you
think-
can't get the credit token, it's like it's just not worth
Is
playing.
it? I don't
Well,
know. I'm kind of with Ian.
It
Ambush
just
is
says
hot.
it just says when the attack ends. It doesn't
Right,
have
but
to survive anymore,
if you
right?
can't
That's how that
ambush it
works.
though on 6, then you're not getting the credit token until 7, and like I mean, I
Oh,
don't
for
know.
sure. No, I
It
I
also
100%
matters.
agree
I
with
think
you.
it really matters not only getting the credit token, but having an 8 drop you really want to cheat ahead of curve.
Well,
or maybe it's
or-
like double 4 or something.
Or it's a
but
9 drop, right? Because if you get the credit token on the turn you play it,
Then you go to
claim
7.
first action, attack again.
Yeah, I get another
If
one.
it survived,
Do
you can have
credits work
2
like-
credit tokens.
Oh yes, that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
how that
yeah,
works. Yep.
And
credit-
you can stack
Or-
all of
credit
them
stack.
at once.
Or we're playing Eternal, right? Okay, and this
Mhm.
comes in, right?
Oh my
on
God.
6, you untap a resource with
Triple
your Boba
dark
Fett,
raid this thing?
and then then you untap the resource with your
Oh,
Boba
boy.
Fett and got the credit, and you got to play another thing.
They're
This into dev.
yeah, all the devs are watching this video, and right now they're saying, "All right, guys, triple dark raid, ban it immediately."
Hey, if that's all I do, thank
Yeah.
the Lord. I
Yeah.
get that card out of Eternal.
Tyler, do you have any more thoughts on fire spray?
No, everyone said it all, eloquently, but I do see. Oh, I hear a sound. Oh, it's the toll of the bell again. Oh, it's CJ's Mind Palace. Oh, people are just playing Force Leaders. Oh, they're only playing ground. Oh no, what's happening? No space units.
We'll see.
What's going on?
You're gonna be
This
sad
is a
when
card
that's
to keep in
reality.
mind,
Okay?
yeah.
When you also are living in my mind palace, Tyler, you're gonna be pretty sad.
Hey, it's
It's a
a good
card to
bit.
keep-
I'm
It's-
gonna keep using it. All right, it makes sense here.
The
If
fact
no
that you
one's playing
called it-
space,
The fact that you called it a mind palace.
Mind
is amazing.
palace,
Like,
yeah.
I'm thinking of like a hyperbolic time chamber from like Dragon Ball Z, and
He's
it's
just
just
gonna be
like
trapped
Paulson
playing
and
against
Obi-Wan
Talbot.
fighting eternally.
Yeah. So
That's gonna be.
our last card here is a legendary, and it is Agent Callus's ship, which is why Callus was the leader, and this is the legendary for today, Lawbringer. So that's more trivia, more lore background for you. This is Callus's
Oh,
ship.
good job.
Thank you very much, Lord Master.
Tata,
pleasure.
known lore master.
Do the bunny race ride in this one?
Yeah, are they pilots?
They can, yeah, sure.
I don't
Okay.
think the Imperials would let them.
Yeah.
They're probably in like some kind of prison. Let's be
Whoa.
honest.
So this is just another like giant Dorito in Piet's world. It is a
Mhm.
when played on attack, choose an aspect, and you get a temporary Snoke effect.
All I'm saying is post rotation, there's a lot more blue ships that I'm liking than red ships.
Yes, correct.
Yep.
I think this card is probably good. I don't think it's amazing, but I think that it'll definitely see some play. It is a cool legendary. Like this card feels legendary, which is something that
Yeah.
they may have missed the mark on in previous sets. Um, so I can be happy with that. But what's funny, and I think Ian pointed this out when we were talking about this card when we got him, is that this sadly can't kill spies. So you can just play your spy deck and be safe, mark safe from a Lawbringer because they don't have an aspect. So
More reason to play Padme.
yeah,
I'll do it.
yeah. All right. So
Um,
so what are you guys' thoughts on this? Mickey, go ahead.
yeah, it kind of sucks because like in set one they kind of nailed it with the big triangles, and so through sets 2 through 6 we've been comparing every big spaceship we get to Avenger and Devastator in them,
Right.
and those are like two of the best ones. I do think this is really cool, and part of what I like about it, and it kind of ties in with the Hera Leader too, is it feels like they're taking some of like their marquee designs from the first 3 sets, the Hera Leader, in this case the Snoke, and they're kind of retooling it and reflavoring it for set 7 and just like the new meta post rotation. So caring about aspects and the set with multi aspect cards makes a lot of sense. And this is just like it's not a permanent -2/-2, which is not quite as good as Snoke, but it's in space, which is a harder arena to interact with, and it's a little bit bigger.
Bigger, yeah.
And like there's that synergy with Piet we talked about. So it's got a lot of things that we've already seen that are good together. And I think it'll have some potential, especially when we
I
can't
also
play
want
Avenger
to point
anymore.
out that the art on this card is just insane. Like
Oh yeah.
with the planted in the background and like the glow off of it. Like the art's insane. So the art, like overall, has taken a big step forward, I think. But like,
Absolutely.
I love the art on this card.
Expect to see a topic about us talking about the art in this set
Yeah.
probably coming future an episode. 'Cause
Yeah. Once we get
it's
more
been a
cards,
very different style, I
vibe.
feel.
Yeah, I agree. You guys have any more thoughts on Lawbringer?
My only thought is I'm really happy to see again that we're bringing back for the big ships the when played and on attack trigger.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Mhm.
Having both is so crucial on these. Like if we're gonna invest that much resources in them, being able to have the flexibility to doing this multiple times is
That
really,
much. It's
really
6 resources, man. That's all you need is 6.
that's a good point. That's a good point. It is a capital ship, which is great. But yeah, and like I know we lose a lot of our ambush cards, right? We lose Timely, we lose the Piet unit, and that all kind of stinks, right? Because that's all would have been pretty cool with this card. But I think this is a more balanced, not the right word, but probably more fair version of Snoke.
It's more
It's more-
interesting for sure.
It's more
interesting.
fun.
It is more more
like
fun.
My
Thank you.
topic
Yeah.
would be like
More fun.
Snoke, great card. Like, if you're playing the blue green villainy control decks, you'd rather want Snoke every day. Like Piet's going to be wanting this one, but the choose an aspect. I honestly wish that I think they should have made it like a -3/-3, make it the effect stronger, but have it weaker based on the aspect, and it's gonna be more fun to play against because your opponent's gonna have to sit there and think about it. There's more different lines and options that I have to take by thinking of the aspect. Of course,
Yeah, like
some
should I
games where
play
it's
my
like all the
second
same
red
thing.
card or should I play my green card because I have a red card out? And
All
play
my
around
all my
Lawbringer?
3 ones that Talzin didn't kill will die to this.
Yep.
And it's
Stinks.
really good against like all the multicolored stuff too, right? Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
gonna be able to hit their
Yeah,
whole
they're more
board
likely to
usually.
share an aspect.
Yeah,
Together.
like you can probably hit their whole board with this card in theory. When you play it, so seems
I
solid.
think I would have liked it instead of saying choose an aspect and give each enemy unit with that aspect -2/-2. It actually be
Without the aspect.
No. It be a card that punishes the opponent for playing a bunch of stuff out of aspect, and just say
it's more of a minus if it's multi.
Yeah, for each aspect your
give a
opponent
unit
controls.
-2/-2 for each aspect it has or something.
Yes. Yeah. I like
And
that.
really be like, okay, you want to play triple aspect cards? My thing is going to eat all of your stuff because you played this greedy deck, right? Like,
Break
I
the
think that
law.
would have been a cool, more interesting punishing effect. And then it probably wouldn't be on attack. It would just be a when played.
Yeah, it'd have to be just a one play because that'd be too bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that too much. I don't really like, the hoser, kind of effect where something's like there to like surely beat on it because then like if no one's doing the multi-aspect thing, this card's unplayable.
Well,
You know,
even
at
if it
least
was
in
just
this aspect.
but
If
like
it's just
let-
one more minus if they're multi or
Sure, if
something.
it said also -1/-1, if it has like what 2+, like you know, what's the bar, like 3 aspects, like
Yeah.
it seems
It-
tough to like.
It does stink though, and we already talked about the spy thing, but Nemec still hosts this card. Like, all right, I'll still get my spy.
Yeah, whereas Snoke
Yeah,
can
in
just
fact,
get the
Yeah,
spy.
they
so
play this,
actually-
kill my Nemec, and then I get to attack them for 2.
Right, exactly. It's like I get to 5 for Nemec
Yeah,
this turn.
spies can always sneak by the Lawbringer. Can't see them.
Very thematic.
But so that's going to be all of our preview cards. But I think that they're all like at least playable. Fire Spray is probably the one that's the most questionable, but it still
Yeah.
seems decent. The Lookout is great. I mean, I give it a
Yeah.
solid like 9 out of 10. It's going to be played in probably every blue-green deck. And then the Lawbringer seems pretty good too.
Yep.
So. But yeah, I mean that's gonna be it, guys. Yeah.
We made it.
Hate to say it, but that's the end of the episodes. I mean, guys, if this is your first time watching because you just wanted to see, spoilers, if you're even still watching, thank you. Please keep watching. We love doing this. We love meeting people at events. We just love the game. So, feel free to say hi. Thank you for watching. Somehow, I don't know how, but Ian is victorious. It will be
Let's
his
go.
only victory this week.
Wow.
Oh.
The shade.
So,
Wow.
Ian, what do you have to tell all of your fans?
I will see you all in Arizona, where I will be having many victories. Tata, not 0 victories. Okay. But yeah, no, I'm just super excited for set 7, and these cards are cool. I think it's really awesome to be part of the community and be able to preview these cards. So thanks to FFG for allowing us to be a part of that program and be able to do cool things like this. I've never done that for any of the games I've played, so this is like a really cool moment for me. But yeah, just super awesome, and excited for Arizona. It's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, we will see you guys there in just a few days. So until then, we will see you this weekend and then in a couple weeks for the next episode.
See ya.